So, as many of you are probably aware by now, there were some leaked pictures of the winter wave, or winter waves really, there's a February and March wave, of the LEGO Star Wars 2021 sets. And while I can't show you the pictures, the leaked pictures, since LEGO doesn't really like it when you do that, I thought I would just take maybe a few minutes to talk about my thoughts on these sets, since a lot of people, including myself, were disappointed by the original rumor list. And now that we have some pictures, just thought I would share my opinions on these sets. So the ones that were leaked were the $40 TIE Fighter, the Junior's X-Wing, the Imperial Shuttle, the Tauntaun and AT-AT Microfighter, the Millennium Falcon Microfighter, as well as the $50 Rebel X-Wing. So without any further ado, let's go ahead and get right into the video. So first I'll just quick talk about the Microfighters. I don't really care about Microfighters, never really have after the first wave. But they don't look bad. The Tauntaun and AT-AT actually looks pretty good, and I think the Tauntaun is a great build, and the Luke Skywalker minifigure that was in there looks like a cool minifig as well. The Millennium Falcon one, though, it's not a solo Falcon. It looks to be like an Empire Strikes Back one with maybe a Hoth Han Solo, and that's incredibly disappointing. That is probably the worst thing that they could have done, so that set I'm just not excited for at all. I think that was a bad move on LEGO's part. So yeah, Microfighters, okay, kind of one good one, one bad one. Let's talk X-Wings next. There is the little 4+ X-Wing, which I think is going to be about $20. But honestly, that one is sequel trilogy and juniors, so that thing is just not going to sell well, and I don't think anybody really cares about it. But where things actually are kind of interesting is the regular scale $50 Rebel X-Wing. And that set actually looks pretty good. And I know we just got an X-Wing in 2018. This one here's the 2012 one. But I do think that for $50, this new X-Wing actually looks pretty good, and I will probably pick it up because I did not get the 2018 model. Still think it was a bad time for a new X-Wing, but honestly, after seeing the picture, I am more excited for it than I was before. And moving on to the $40 TIE Fighter, which is significantly cheaper than pretty much every single TIE Fighter we've had since like 2015. It actually looks pretty good, from what I can tell from the very small leaked picture. The wings do look significantly smaller than compared to this 2018 model. However, the cockpit appears to be like a similar size and similar build. So it really just looks like this is just going to be like this cockpit with a bit of a shorter arm on each side and smaller wings, which I'm honestly okay with. Now, I do think, like the X-Wing, it is the wrong time for a new TIE Fighter. This really should have been a Clone Wars set. But I can't fault the build too much, and especially for $40, I think it's going to be a good TIE Fighter at a good price. I just don't think this was the way for a TIE Fighter, but based off the leaked picture, it doesn't look too bad. So the Imperial Shuttle, the one that's coming out in 2021, is going to be $70, which is significantly cheaper than this one here from 2015. And looking at the picture, it looks like it might be about the same size, which is actually pretty interesting. I was expecting it to be much smaller. But the wings on the side and even the center wing looks pretty much the same size as this. The center wing honestly even looks like it might be a bit taller. The center section looks fine on the leaked picture. But where I have issues with it is the cockpit. Now you can see here on this one, it's a fairly long cockpit, and it comes down to what's essentially a point. But you know, it's a nice wide design, and I really like the way that it looks. You can see it's pretty long. But on the leaked picture, it looks like it stops like here. Like it just looks way too short on this leaked image. Now, I mean, maybe it's just a bad angle, maybe it is a little bit longer, but it looks like there's 2 studs here, and then maybe like 3 or 4 studs of a cockpit, like the windshield, and then there's maybe like this tip here, so they like cut out this section here, so it goes straight from the clear piece to the slope pieces, and I don't like the way that that looks. I think it just looks a little too stubby, especially for the size of the rest of the Imperial Shuttle. So this is one I'm not too sure about. I think it's cool that they're doing a cheaper Imperial Shuttle, but honestly, I'm not a huge fan of how that cockpit looks. So what do I think of this wave based off the leaked images? The sets themselves aren't bad. Some of them are actually pretty good, like the X-Wing and TIE Fighter, the AT-AT and Tauntaun Microfighter. Those actually look like pretty good sets. Imperial Shuttle's okay. I don't really like the cockpit, and the Solo Microfighter is just bad. And there's also the Junior's Resistance X-Wing, but it's like a blue and gray version of the 2018 Junior's X-Wing, which just is not good. So I think most of the sets look good. I think as sets they'll be okay, especially the X-Wing and TIE with those pretty cheap prices. The issue is we didn't need any of these sets right now. We needed Clone Wars sets. Like the X-Wing really should have been like an ARC 170 or something. So I think as sets themselves, the sets themselves are good, but overall these are just the wrong sets to be releasing right now. So I think as a whole the wave is bad, but the sets themselves I can't really fault them for anything. So if you guys have seen these leaked images, I am sorry that I can't show them to you. I don't want to get in trouble with LEGO. But if you have seen them, definitely let me know what you think of these sets by leaving a comment down below. And if you enjoyed this bit of a different type of video, never done anything like this before, let me know by leaving a like. And if you want to see more from me, consider subscribing and turning on notifications. And that will do it for this video, guys. Thank you so much for watching. Bye.